I'm going to try to make a little short video today. It's just something I keep hearing and I've been thinking about, which was pretty funny. When people start talking about this exercise is good for this head of the muscle, this exercise is good for that head of the muscle, you know, triceps, there's 3 muscles in the tricep. We know this. Quadriceps, there's 4. Some people, they're finding 5, but that's a different story. The hamstring, there's 3. So we always talk about, you know, different exercises to work the different heads of the muscle. But all of those muscles, those heads of that muscle, all attach to the same point. So they're all attached to the same, they have a shared tendon. So in theory, you can't work in a specific head of a muscle more than the others. You know, the triceps has the long, the lateral, and the medial head. The quadriceps, the rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, vastus intermedius. These are all multiple heads, but they're attached to the same tendon. So this means they all contribute to the same overall movement. You know, quads for leg extensions and movements, tricep heads for, you know, elbow extension. You can't completely isolate one head. It's just not possible. Because like I said, they're all connected. They have a shared tendon, so they're all going to work at the same time. But you can influence a section of that muscle. So, you know, the activity that you're doing, the exercise that you're doing, you know, you could change the angle, the movement pattern, you know, etc. And you're going to emphasize one of the heads more than the others, but you're not going to isolate. You're not going to do that. So this is more of just nitpicking words than it is actuality. When we say, do this exercise for this head of the tricep, do that exercise for that head of the tricep, I think it's more of a nuance, and I think we're more not definitively saying that this will only work this head of the tricep and this exercise will only work the medial head. It's more of you get a little bit more of a focus, a little bit more of an influence of that head of that muscle. It's not definitively saying we're going to isolate, you know. Biceps is 2 heads, you know. So we have to really choose our words appropriately. We're getting a little carried away with the science of everything to try and correct everybody. But just to be clear, you cannot isolate one of the heads of a tricep, quadricep, bicep, hamstring. You cannot isolate them. You could change the angle of your movement to kind of emphasize, but not isolate. I think that's the words we should really be choosing, is adding that word emphasize to it. Like, do this, you know, hand movement to emphasize the long head, do this movement to emphasize the lateral head, and so forth and so on. I think that'll just make everything really clear for everybody. Science people are happy, and regular gym people are happy, and, you know, nobody gets hurt. Nobody's feelings get hurt either. So, thanks for watching.